Hi, beautiful friends. It's LeahMarie, and I am coming to you today with a pick a card reading for this week. As those of you who are on the channel normally, a part of the community here, may notice I am in a different environment. I am actually having a couple months stay in Mexico. I decided, or rather the universe really decided, that it was going to give me the opportunity to live here in Mexico for a couple months to have a new adventure myself. So I am excited to bring you the first reading from here, which is from the Starseed Oracle deck. I am feeling a really strong connection to our star ancestors right now. It really sort of broke open on Friday, November 19th with the full moon and lunar eclipse. I started feeling a lot more of our cosmic ancestors really stepping up to bring in this new creative energy, new inventions, new ideas, new concepts for us to consider, to sit with, to meditate with. And so I feel that the messages this week are really coming through from our star ancestors, whether you identify as a star seed or lightworker or empath or not. The messages are going to resonate with you and wherever you are in your journey and however you identify. It's just simply that the more higher consciousness cosmic beings are who are wanting to bring this message forth today. And so I am excited to kind of see what these new creative energies and ideas are, and perhaps even what is it that we need to really align ourselves with in order for ourselves to be open to receiving. I'm going to leave that one in the middle, actually, leaving this like energy with us, these ideas with us. And so the more open we are to that right now, the easier this new creative energy is going to be able to come to us. And I think that was two, actually. Yes. So just allow yourself to really be open to receiving and releasing. So there might be things that need to or are getting or just did get eclipsed out with this last full moon eclipse that we had last week. And so this could be for many of you a new cycle as well. So I am excited to see what messages come out for the collective. As always, use your heart connection, your discernment, your intuition as to what of these general messages is meant for you. The deck I'm using is going to be in the description box below, along with ways you can support the channel and get in touch with me and become a member of our community and do our online classes and check out our shop. So I appreciate all that support so much, and for all of you who have been liking, sharing, subscribing, and continuing to support the expansion of this channel. It means so much to me. So thank you guys. So I'm going to go over here and start with card one. And this just makes me laugh because of some recent conversations I've had. So the statement is, you're not for everyone. And the message with that is, embrace your weirdness and face your true north. So this has more or less been, for me, I'll give you guys a little personal nugget today. This has pretty much been the story of my life. Like, I, as a child, was very different. I've identified as a starseed for a long time, and my gifts as a medium and an oracle and intuitive have, been a little, I was called weird a lot as a child. And so thankfully I lived in a household where the motto we had was weird is awesome. So I am grateful for that, and I'm going to share that with any of you on this channel who have maybe felt weird or different or out of the standard norm for some of your lives. And so I want to let you know you are very welcome and very loved in this community and very understood when it comes to that. And it's really time for many of you, for myself included in this, I've been stepping into deeper and deeper roles with that to lead by example, that it's okay for us to be different. It's okay for us to be this, she's this beautiful being, and I know it'd be a little hard to see, but she's like standing on this cliff's edge, really ready to embrace her uniqueness, her journey, and to dive into this space of seeing your uniqueness as a gift, as a blessing, not as something that is a negative thing, if you've ever felt that way. And so with this message here, it really is for you to be able to receive these new creative ideas and energies from your ancestors, from the cosmic guides and angels, It's about acknowledging your uniqueness and seeing it as a strength, seeing it as a blessing, and knowing that while some people might not understand, they might not get it, they might call you weird or whatever, like that's just part of the dynamic of things that need to essentially be broken through, because it's not about other people liking us per se, or kind of coming into this space of acknowledging and recognizing us fully. Some people will be able to understand and some people won't. Some people will accept us and some people won't. And so given that sort of energy, it's so much more powerful when we can be our unique selves and not worry about it, knowing that there are going to be some people that are in our life, and those people are going to be so much more aligned with our unique gifts and purposes, and we get to be more authentic. We get to live in our truth more. We get to feel like the weird is awesome, because other people that we attract through that are going to be like, oh my gosh, that's so cool that you do this or you do that. Whereas other people who might still be in this place of wanting to conform or fit into the collective conditioning, the collective society, they might not be aware of how to embrace that uniqueness. Now, the truth is we all have uniqueness. It's just some of us are more aware, some of us are more ready to be able to express that. Neither is good or bad. You are where you are in your journey. This is the guides just coming through to say, if you have unique gifts, if you've been holding yourself back, if you've been sitting in a space where you feel a soul calling to do things, but you're like, oh, well, but I might not get liked, or, these people might not understand. This is the guides really saying, no, you're not for everyone. You're here to share your gifts, and the people that are meant to receive them and understand them will. And so I find this to be actually a really divine discernment that happens when we step into our authenticity. We practice that inner integrity more of being our unique, weird selves. Then we get to see right away, do people accept us as that, or are they rejecting that? And the thing of it is I know on one level we've been very conditioned to want to be accepted by as many people as possible, and that there's so much in the collective as well that seeks out that external validation to sort of feel like we are, we're good enough or we're valuable, and we're looking for that external validation. And this is the guides as well saying, while that external validation is all well and good and you can enjoy that, if that is your baseline for you expressing your true self, that's a space where you're not necessarily going to be honoring your full truth if you're waiting for that external validation. And in many cases, you might be holding yourself back or creating more suffering within your life because you're not actually honoring your truth, and you're only waiting for it in the external. Now, you might get it in the external, but then it's also that and that feels good, but then if that ever goes away, then it's like you might go back to questioning what you're doing, how you're doing it, etc. And so this is really time. The star ancestors for this grouping want to help you guys come to a space of honoring your weirdness and really being able to, they're coming into the embracing it, but also facing your true north. So if you're not sure what your true north is, this is a space where you can do your own meditation practices or ask the universe for more guidance. And really the best thing I can suggest, and what I do with this personally, is my heart is my true north. So wherever my heart is telling me to go, whatever my heart is telling me to do, that is my true north. That is what I honor. And having now lived my life this way for a while, it has gotten me to this place where I see how totally taken care of I am, how everything lines up in perfect divine timing because I'm following my true north, and I'm not worried about external acceptance or external approval. I am no longer living on other people's terms, I'm living on my terms. Now, I am inviting you guys to choose to do that as well, and to know that sometimes that is a process. So if you're not totally ready to dive all the way in, that's okay. Just ask yourself, they're telling me to leave you with this as a contemplation. Ask yourself, what is my true north, and what do I need to have, to do, to release in order to start following it every day of the rest of my life? So thank you so much for picking card 1, for your likes, shares, and subscribes, and I will connect again next week. Take care. So we're coming over to card 2, and we have surrender to the sweetness, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. And this is an absolutely gorgeous card. I'm gonna get it in as close as I can here. And so this is just an equally powerful, because where I am situated here on the Pacific side of Mexico, I was able to at sunset last night see Venus in as the sunset was going down. So her energy is coming through so strong, so much love energy, so much higher consciousness, unconditional love energy coming through right now to everyone. But those of you who picked pile 2 here, it's really time for you to see, feel, and know how loved you are, how much that your cosmic ancestors want you to be the embodiment of the unconditional love of your star ancestors, of where many of you are from places where unconditional love is the baseline. That is the conditioned collective. It's about unity and joy and pleasure and experiencing the beauty of life. So it's true, we did come here in these bodies to have a very dynamic journey with life. So there's going to be the ebbs, the flows, the contrast. But ultimately, the messages I keep getting are ones where it's about us learning how to savor the joy in all experiences. Not that we want to go to the extreme of escaping into pleasure, escaping into love, but rather cultivating that love and that joy in our own hearts and bringing that forth. And I know sometimes when I've talked to people that I've pulled this card before with the make love to life, people have laughed at me and laughed. I shouldn't say laugh at me, but they laugh about it because it's like such a foreign concept. And it's not in a sexual way that the universe is saying this. It's in a way where you are doing a dance with each day, with each interaction, with everything that you say, with everything that you see, a dance that is love itself. You're putting it out, and the more you put love out, the more that's going to be returned to you. Because much like the ocean, those waves go out and the tide comes in. And this is the same with our life. Whatever energy and vibrations we put out, that is what is going to be returned to us. And so this is the dance they're asking you and inviting you to do to align with your creative flow. So the more you focus on love and making, everything this effortless flow of love focused on what joy can I find in this experience? What pleasure do I want to engage with today? Whether it's, in this card, we see this individual, there's one individual on the shoreline over here and she's looking out at the water. And so perhaps she's experiencing pleasure in the view. And then there's another individual here in the water. So enjoying that time in the water. So this is really just this space of how can you bring more joy into your life? Because as you align with that vibration of joy and of love, it is creating a clearer channel within you to receive these higher consciousness downloads. And they are unique to each of you. So it isn't necessarily about me telling you this is what it's going to look like for you. I'm here to give you the message of this is how you get aligned with what you're asking for. So this new cycle, if you've been asking for more creative ideas, if you've been asking for more clarity on things that you have going on in your life, whether it's projects or relationships or something altogether different, right? This is just about you aligning more with that love and that joy and finding within that space the energy that gives you that openness to receive from your cosmic ancestors. And once you receive, I do feel it's going to be so incredibly powerful that there's not going to be a question about how to proceed forward. It's just going to be like, boop, the idea is in you, you feel it, and you just know you need to take action, how to take action, and when to take action. And so they're calling me back calling me back to the Venus energy specifically. And they're really looking at this space. So some of you could be either Libras or Tauruses. This is going to be especially powerful for those of you who are under those signs. They're both ruled by Venus. And I am a double Libra myself, so I have such a strong resonance with Venus. And I know that I'm here to spread love, to embody love, to teach others how to love themselves, and to share that love in healthy and dynamic ways with other people. And so, any of you who are born under the sign of Venus, you do have a certain aspect within your soul and your line to be that bearer of love, to be a beacon of love, to be a, like, essentially I'm seeing it as this pillar of love that's here that just radiates that energy and vibration out. Now, you don't have to be born under that sign. Maybe you have a strong connection with it. I'm also hearing Aphrodite as well, so she had a strong connection with Venus. So that might be a goddess that wants to work with some of you if there's a resonance there. You know, you might want to dive more, and if you're not familiar with Aphrodite, then you might want to Google her and find out. She's a really amazing being, and that it can come through as a guide and assistant. And so you can check that out as well. But really connecting with the planet of Venus to help bring downloads in. So if you feel a resonance with Venus, I'm hearing like sitting and doing a meditation with her and asking her specifically, how does she want to work with you, and what vibrations of energy more specifically are going to help you and your creative endeavors, or like stepping into this next cycle that's happening for you. So really beautiful, loving energy, and I am so excited for that flow to come through, because we need more, and we really need as many people as feasibly possible right now focusing on love, cultivating more love within ourselves first and foremost, and then sharing that with the world, so that these shifts into unity and love consciousness can happen at faster and faster rates, or really more efficient rates, I like to say. So thank you so much for picking card 2. Have a fantastic week, and thank you for your likes, shares, and subscribes. Take care. So we're going to come over here to pile 3, and we have star brothers. So very appropriate given our star ancestors, or who are communicating. And so this is more of that masculine cosmic energy. And we have one of my favorite Egyptian gods with this one too, Horus. So we're getting Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. And so some really strong saturated energies, and these are a lot of themes I've been seeing come through in one-on-ones the last like probably 2 weeks, and even in my own meditation. The energy of Egypt has for, I want to say the last 4 or 5 days has been on fire. A lot of Egyptian signs and symbols have been coming to me in my waking and dream states, and through, personal sessions. And so I'm really feeling this strong Egyptian vibe. So some of you may have a resonance with that. Maybe you're from there. Maybe you've had a past life there. Maybe you just really love the energy, or have enjoyed that vibration and the architecture, the history, the lore, all that stuff. So, and I will say, like, I had the opportunity in 2019 to go to Egypt and had a very powerful experience, and Horus was one of the gods and statues and energies at his temple where I experienced some very profound things. So I encourage you with this right away. They're saying, like, meditate around the energy of Egypt, around and with Horus, and that energy of the masculine star brothers, more protective, loyal. So I'm feeling this for you guys. It's a little different than these other piles. It's much more inner, and for the purposes of like watching over others. So some of you may identify as being protectors. Maybe you feel a great level of protection over your loved ones, or even over the collective. You might consider yourself an earth keeper while here, which is, if you guys aren't familiar, that is a form of steward for the earth and all of the creation and all of the life upon this planet. And so there is this energy coming through where the more aligned you are with that innate inner protector, the more loyal and true that you are to your heart, to your path, the more things are going to flow for you, the more space is going to be created for these ideas to come to you. Now, I'm also hearing, as you're receiving these new insights, there is the level of protection from Horus around you and around your insights. So what I'm saying is, like, let's say they're giving me this example. So it's like, let's say you get this new idea for a project you want to work on. They're encouraging you to kind of keep it close to the chest until you have it at a stage that you're ready to release it more openly to the general public. Because there feels like there's something coming through for you guys that's going to be very unique and specific that other people might not quite understand. And while people can be very well meaning, sometimes what happens when we get excited and we share ideas, if the other person doesn't really understand, they might go into like, well, how's that going to be possible? Well, that doesn't make sense. Well, that seems kind of weird. I don't know about that. And unfortunately, sometimes until we're at a certain point in our path, when other people sort of say these sort of naysay things, sometimes we let ourselves not move forward, or we start questioning ourselves rather than honoring the purity of the wisdom that's being given to us by these higher consciousness energies. And so I'm saying this because sometimes it's important to really honor those ideas and those creative things, like again, close to you. And if you have a person or a small group of people that really are very supportive, open, and understanding, check in to see if you want to share, but really getting this strong message of keeping your ideas closer to you until you're ready to birth them, more from the perspective of keeping them pure. Not because somebody's going to steal it or take it. The reality is we're meant to bring, some of us are meant to birth the ideas, other people are going to take aspects and use them. We want these higher consciousness energies to be more prolific, so it's okay for other people to utilize them as time goes on. So it's not from that perspective, but they're saying it's the purity that needs to be protected. And so really trusting your inner guidance with that, about who to share with, about who to talk to, who to process things with. Because for some of you, I get the sense that you might need other people to collaborate with you on things coming forward in the future. And so really checking in, who do you want to collaborate with if this applies to you, and trusting the guidance that you receive, knowing like if it feels good, if it flows, if it's easy, if it resonates, then move forward. If there's obstacles, if you're feeling uneasy, if there's red flags, like then pause and reassess, okay? And so the other nugget here is there's the safety. So Horus and the Star Brothers are protecting you. So we're getting the two more hawk-like Horus is here, and then more of the traditional statue where he has the sort of this tall hat on his head, but all of those are protecting this individual in the middle. So they're really coming through with this very strong energy of protection. So whatever it is that you're doing or working on, you are very protected, you are very safe. It's okay for you to proceed forward. Now, I feel like there's probably maybe a smaller population of you here that this is relevant for, but I do need to say this, is that some of you may have experienced trauma in the past, and that past trauma you've been healing through, but there might still be a little bit of a sense of apprehension into moving forward in whatever it is, whether it's a creative endeavor or communication or project or something. They're saying that there might be a little apprehension that you don't feel it's safe for you to do that. And so for those of you that does resonate with, they just really want you to know you are safe. You are completely surrounded, left, right, front, back, up, down, by this golden energy of Horus and the Star Brothers. They have you in, I'm seeing this golden orb, much like we're seeing in the sort of heart center of this being here, that is all the way around you, encapsulating you at this time. And they are encouraging you to step through that apprehension, almost as though it's like a fog. So you just can't see yet how protected you are, and it isn't going to be something you can see until you step forward. It's like you can, I'm just getting this, like, it's time to take action and it's time to move through the apprehension because the time is now. And the apprehension can be at times overwhelming, but it's normally, or in this case, they're saying, in this case, coming from perhaps a lack of feeling safe or protected because of things that have happened in the past. And so, in order for you to have the universe show you how protected you are, you actually have to leave your comfort zone, because they can't show you until you leave your comfort zone. And so, those of you that needed that message, they're just like, you have to, baby birds, you have to leave your comfort zone, because we want to show you how protected you are, how taken care of you are, how loyal we are to loving you, guiding you, being here with you, but you have to let us show you. And so, really beautiful messages for you guys today, and tapping into that strong energy of birthing something new, but really honoring the purity of whatever that is for you moving forward. So thank you so much for picking card 3, sending you a ton of love and light for a great week, and I do so appreciate those likes, shares, and subscribes, guys. So take care.